dragged Rachel Dolezal into the backway alley by the roots of her badly permed hair. Damn, girl, don't you know you gotta take your black face off before a fight? Why are you standing in the corner like that for? You scared? You don't know how to fight? You gotta know how to fight, girl, not like fist fights. So like the policeman's bullet is following you through the shadows and you gotta make it back home fight. Like you've just been pulled over and you don't want to become a Sandra Bland mugshot, so you gotta stay silent. Gotta make your mouth a graveyard fight like the homeless man just called you a nigger and you have to spend the next 5 days apologizing to your skin fight. Have you ever been called a nigger, Rachel, in a fight? In a university classroom, in front of your 13-year-old nephew, do you say it when no one's around? Whisper like a blasphemous prayer sent to a white god. You think you black, girl? The only thing you know about a black woman's body is that you were not blessed with one. My skin will not fashion you a welcome mat. My skin will not make room for your name in my mouth. My skin will spit in your face. You think you black? Girl, your skin cannot pass a lie detector test. Your skin belongs in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest standing Halloween costume. Your skin deserves an ass whooping. Come here, girl, you so privileged. Take your mask off and get a newspaper spread. You're a featured spot on a talk show. Get an interview. Most black women don't even make the news until they're dead. Most black women don't even get a shout out during the commercial break. But here you go, another white fiend looking after this black skin she ain't bleed for. Come here, girl, my fist will make you the blackest bruise you could ever wish to be, and you'll still prosper. You'll become a martyr for appropriators everywhere. You'll get a Lifetime movie entitled All My Life I Had to Steal. Kylie Jenner will play your leading role. Miley Cyrus will make you her spirit animal. Will build a shrine dedicated to your black faith, and you'll still prosper, and you'll still be a white woman. And if they kill me, they will still cover your story instead of my funeral.
Now the internet wants to act up. Hold on. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African-American man.
That's a very, I don't know what you're implying.
Are you African-American?
I don't understand the question. I did tell you that, yes, that's my dad. And he was unable to come in January.
Are your parents, are they white?
She ran off. That was Rachel when she was being interviewed. She ran off on an interviewer. He asked her a simple question. One more video and then we're going to get started.
Now, this is my other question. Because you're in my house, okay? So let's get real, all right? Let's just get real. Let's stop all this. For real. We just trying to figure this out so that
Understand,
where
yeah.
I'm coming from. Because it was hurtful to a lot of black women. There were some people that felt that you never identified yourself as white. So, like when you went to Howard University, some people felt like they never knew you were white, you were black. And so they felt like maybe the scholarship or when you got admitted to Howard, that took an opportunity from a black woman. So that's why a lot of people, it's like you can identify because you're beautiful, but we're trying to understand why in some instances you never told people that you were white.
Yeah.
Are you ashamed of being white?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. How are you guys doing? Well, I hope you guys were able to hear the videos clearly, and I hope you're able to hear me. It's a little windy, so apologies if you can't, or if the sound was a little messed up. Good afternoon, Dick Cut. Good afternoon, Old School. How are you guys doing? Well, I hope. Well, I hope. Cool beans. Okay, you guys can see me. Cool beans. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started. No complaints. Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool beans. Let's get started. Okay, so this afternoon I want to discuss the Rachel Dolezal. Hope I'm saying her last name. Well, that's not even her name anymore, but it's a broader conversation besides her. But she done changed her name up to some type of name. I don't know if it's African or what, but bless her. She completely switched her name up. Actually, you know what? I have a minute. Let me see. What is the lady's name now? Hey, Trace Spectives. Good evening. That's wishful thinking. I'm ready to dip. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Well, I hope. Let's see. What is her new name now? I'm not sure when she changed it. Which that's people's right in this country. You can change your name to whatever you want to. It's just interesting, that's all. You say you're working. I hope your work day is going smooth. It's Monday. Let's see. What is Rachel's new name? I don't even think I can pronounce that. Oh my goodness. Hold on, guys. Oh, now it's working. Jeez Louise. All right, let's see what her new name is. Okay, guys, bear with me. So her name now is Nakichi or Nakechi. And mind you, she was born, her name was Rachel Dolezal. But now she done changed her name to Nakechi, Nkechi. It's either Amar or Amari, Amare Diallo. 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 Now I can, oh, dag nabbit. I can envision, I'm going to take one of my headphones out because it's dying. Hopefully y'all can still hear me in the other one. I can envision that a change of name was probably needed for her, especially since she, that name was tainted. So it doesn't really make me go, the fact that she changed her name. I understand why she changed her name. It's just the name itself that kind of throws me. I'm like, oh, okay. Rachel, also known as Nkechi. Nkechi. Hey, Carlos. Good afternoon, Chef. How you doing? Well, I hope. He said fake A. I'd say, I'd say, because you can definitely be a powerful ally without being completely fugazi. There's so many powerful allies for the Black community, as well as other communities who come as they are. You know, the same way throughout all the HBCUs, there are professors or teachers and whatnot who are not black or African American. The same way there are people who attend those schools who are white or Asian or Hispanic, because there's no laws that prevent people who are not black or African American from attending those schools, teaching at those schools, administrating at those schools, um, as well as all the many organizations that are in place that are supposed to be in place for the betterment of the black or the African American community. So she didn't need to do that. The woman got issues. Yeah, I said. So she changed her name to a more ethnic sounding name. Exactly. Listen. So that's why I said it wasn't the name change itself that kind of did it for me. It's like, okay, Rachel, hold on. And apparently her parents got a lot of slack for coming out and letting it be known, you know, was good. And it is what it is. Excuse me. It is what it is. She would have been perfectly fine, like I said, as a powerful ally without putting on such a facade. And she completely, I'm telling you, if I had all the who's in the house, I would have let y'all see the interview. She completely ran off on the plug. Y'all heard the questioning, y'all heard how she answered it. And then towards the end, he wasn't even finished, which you don't have to finish being interviewed, whatever. But she completely walked off. And you would have thought that he had said something derogatory or offensive, or he was being aggressive with her. No, he's just asking you simple questions that applied at that time. Like, girl, you're going to be asked these type of questions now. I mean, at this time, at the time, that's not a foreign concept. Let's see. African American is so cumbersome. Let's go with black. That's why I said and or a new word alert cumbersome. I'm telling you, I'm gonna Google it. All right, let's see. Let's continue. Let's put on all messages. Boom shakalaka. So let's see. Where she get her education? So she went to Howard University from 2000 to 2002. She went to Belhaven in 2000, and then a college called Christian Liberty Academy. All right, let's get off of her. Let's just get into the conversation. I was just more so intrigued as to what, because I seen that she had changed her name, but I had just forgot off the top of my head what it was. I knew it was something, how Trey put it, more ethnic. So it says the Rachel Dolezal effect refers to a phenomenon where an individual, usually a white person, adopts the racial, ethnic, or cultural identity of a marginalized group. The term stems from the 2015 controversy surrounding Rachel Dolezal, a former NAACP. Imagine the scandal at that time. It was 2015, so this was about 11 years ago. Imagine the scandal at that time. She was a NAACP chapter president and activist in Spokane. Is it Spokane or Spokane, Washington? who was outed as a white woman despite publicly presenting as black for years. For years. Hold on. And if I'm not mistaken, in an interview, she had said that she started to self-identify as black between the ages of about 5 and 7. Don't quote me, but if I'm not mistaken, that's what she has said. That doesn't mean that she's telling the truth just because she said it, you know what I mean? But it's just crazy work as a grown person that you don't find any issue with completely lying about who you are, completely lying about who you are. And then not only did you completely lie about who you are, you reap certain benefits off of that lie that regardless of what anyone wants to say, it is a it's an understandable argument if someone wants to make it that you probably did rob people from an opportunity to reap those benefits who deserved it, who was warranted to be able to have that. Just like when Elizabeth Warren got smoked because you was lying about being Native American, you know, talking about what your mama's grandma said or whatever have you. As a grown individual, a grown woman with the funds to be able to confirm that before you go around just saying it all willy-nilly in order to do what? Reap certain benefits from it. She got smoked for that. It was warranted smoke, you know? Hold on. Just be you, the fudge. Exactly. And like I said, she could have still been a powerful ally coming as herself. The same way back in the days when the civil rights movement was heavy, black people had powerful allies who were white, who were ostracized, who were criticized, who got their ass beat, who got hosed, who got dogs leashed on them, who got their houses set on fire because they were N-word lovers, all type of stuff, okay? But they came how they were with their morals, you know what I mean? There's a difference. The same way, gay people, people of the LGBT, what is it, TQ or whatever community, they have powerful allies who are straight men and straight women. Hey, little run buddy. Good afternoon. How you doing? Well, I hope. Okay, let's see. So we went over, just went over with you guys, you know, what the Rachel Dolezal effect is, right? And it says this effect, the effect sparks intense cultural and academic debate centered around several key dynamics. Okay. Go back. Boom, there you go. Racial fluidity versus fraudulence. Okay. Racial fluidity versus fraudulence, excuse me. The core of the effect questions whether race is a purely subjective social construct that an individual can fluidly, quote unquote, fluidly adopt, or is it an objective reality based on ancestry, lived experience, and systematic socialization? I would say the latter. I would say the latter. And we touched on when we did the live on being a product of your environment, right? That in all neighborhoods, there's going to be different types of people. Okay. So there are white people and Hispanics who, from the outside looking in, one would think that they're trying to present themselves to be Black or African American, or they're trying to act Black or African American, when in reality, they are purely a product of their environment. You know, that is how they grew up, you know, as well as we touched on different aspects of being a product of your environment. Um, but even with that being said, we discussed how, although they are a product of their environment as far as, you know, the culture and whatnot, they also should know that not everybody is going to be understanding or acceptable to them using the N word. Okay? The same way there's loads of Black people, both older and younger, who don't use the N word, who don't condone it, who don't play that shit. Excuse my language. It just is what it is, you know? But there's definitely a difference between being a product of your environment and being raised where you were raised and how you were raised, and being a fraud. And I definitely don't subscribe to racial fluidity. Now, it's okay to have a liking or appreciation for different types of cultures and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not about to sit here and put on a whole facade just because I might like Asian food. I'm going around and lie and say that my dad is Asian and I'm a Blasian. Like, come on. Let's see. All right. Cultural appropriation. And I think I'm also going to do another live in the near future, even if we touch on certain aspects of the same that are the same. And then we're going to discuss the difference between cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation. Okay. And if there's anybody that wants to do a live on that, and you want to do it and you do it before I do or whatever, just tell me and I'll support that and share that out. I don't have a problem with that. But that is something I want to do in the near future. I don't know when, where we discuss the difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation, because there is a difference. Hold on. Because said exactly like this guy. Yeah, and you don't use the N word. You be in a chat full of people that use it, but you're not gonna use it. And you are yourself. You do your thing. As should everyone. You laughed at Blasian. You never heard that before? Okay, so cultural appropriation and passing, quote unquote passing, because obviously she was a white woman who was Black passing, with some aid, of course, because you run. I don't use that word either. I dig it, and that could easily be considered offensive. You know what I mean? To somebody who is mixed with Black and Asian. And who would I be to tell them that they don't got the right to be offended? I would just have to say my bad. Um, so yeah, so in Rachel's case, as well as many other women's case and men's case who act in this way, they get tans and whatnot. So in her case, she was getting tans or whatever have you. She admitted that she was wearing a weave, which is not wrong with weave, but that's not your real hair texture. You know, it's not your real hair texture. You ain't got yourself a piece to aid in your attempt to pass that you were successful in for years. You know, and it's like, okay, it is what it is. A black woman can go and get a weave, right, or straighten her hair or whatever. But guess what? When she's maneuvering around in society, still a black woman nonetheless, as opposed to a white woman who goes and gets their hair done in a certain way and goes and gets tanned in a certain way to make themselves appear racially ambiguous or black. And then when you add to the fact that it's not just for aesthetics, you're reaping certain benefits off of this as well, you know, if that makes sense. Nah, I never liked that word, and it's way too loaded. And that's understandable. What about reparation? You're funny. I heard Blasian and Blaxican, you know? And who would we be to tell somebody who is mixed with those two things that they don't got the right to be offended by that if they are truly offended by that? Hold on. Okay, let's continue. Cultural appropriation and passing. Observers often debate whether adopting another group's identity, is an act of deep cultural appreciation and solidarity or a manipulative form of passing that appropriates space, trauma, and leadership meant for marginalized people. Like that's self-explanatory. The same way people who load up their resumes and whatnot, and they lie about certain qualifications that they have, and they're able to get away with it, and they get that job. But later down the line, that job finds out that you were lying. Um, Old school. But once that job, if that job finds out that you're lying about your qualifications and whatnot, that you said you accomplished and attained, they have every right and they're well in their means to boot you, to give you the boots, because you would have not been selected for that job without those set qualifications that were required. Duh. All right. The ally versus leader dilemma. The controversy highlights a distinction between genuinely advocating for a community, for example, studying at a historically black college or university and fighting for civil rights, like we discussed. Hold on. What in the world? Okay. And claiming biological or ethnic, membership to ascend into positions of leadership within that community. Like I said, there's plenty of people who are not black or quote unquote African American who attend historically black colleges or universities And then, like I said, I'll take it further. There's also professors who teach at these colleges and universities. The same way there's professors who teach African American studies at other colleges, even ones who are not HBCUs, who are not black. You know what I mean? While still coming as themselves. And then it says social and professional fallout. Individuals caught engaging in this behavior typically experience severe professional, social, and reputational consequences, often being ousted from community boards, jobs, and activist circles. Because you are a fraud. It is what it is. You are a fraud. You did the most in order to get where you are at and in whatever circles you are at. But it was all based off of lies. And not to say that had you came as yourself, you wouldn't have been welcomed with open arms, excuse me. Or who's to say that you would have been turned away? Who knows? But you completely just rob people of being able to make an educated decision. Hold on. No, I'm not old school. And then over when he says, I don't identify as either. Okay. Let's see. All right. It says the phenomenon has since been applied in broader public discourse, excuse me, to subsequent cases where public figures, academics, or influencers have been exposed for fabricating non-white identities. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's a lot to me. I don't know how y'all feel about stuff like that, but that's a lot to me. And it definitely makes me side eye you. And I definitely don't really want to be involved with nobody that's going to sit here and do all of that. Hold on. And that poem that spoken word was very powerful. And I want to say that was done about 10 years ago. Because obviously it was around the same time and this story was broke. That poem was very powerful. And I added the link to it. Yep. I added the link to it in the chat if anybody would like to go watch it. It was very powerful. That's something that's very offensive. Very offensive. And no, it's not taking it all the way back in the day and slapping on some cut that out. And slapping on some good old fashioned blackface, but damn, excuse my language. Jeesh. And then like I said, when you couple that with the fact that you reap certain benefits off that facade, and then had the nerve to be offended, appalled when you were ousted, regardless how you were ousted. And then yeah, folks had questions. Y'all should see, y'all should have seen how she ran off on him. She ran off on that daggone interviewer. You would have thought he said something ignorant. It's like, no, girl, that's legit questions. You can't even answer legit straight up question, but want to still have people to, you know, give you some sort of understanding, benefit of the doubt, whoop-de-doo. And that's completely separate from her accomplishments. Not once did you hear me take anything away from what she accomplished, but that doesn't have anything to do with the price of tea in China as to how you got there and what aided you in that. She was like, I gotta go. And Lonnie from The Real is funny as heck. There was another one, but I'm like, I had friends for time. I guess she was pregnant at the time. She was pregnant at the time. And so she knows. She told him she's pregnant or whatever. And Lonnie gonna sit here and ask her or say to her, like, yeah, so I'm guessing the baby's black. Y'all should have seen her face. Y'all should have seen her face. And to some people, stuff like that is not a big deal to them. It's not nothing to make you give somebody a second look or a once over. But for me, yeah, it is. You know, completely, completely. Especially if you lying. It's not like somebody assumed or had a silent assumption and the conversation was never had. You not only lied about that, like your mom and your dad are white people. You know what I mean? You lied completely about that. And then you went around and pushed that lie and reaped the benefits from that lie. No. And then when questioned about it, you couldn't, you had nothing to say. You had nothing to say, you know? And it just is what it is. And then a complete separate conversation that I may or may not decide to have, besides from the ones that who just completely lie about who they are in order to try to fit in with certain crowds, be able to engage in certain conversations they otherwise may or may not have been able to engage in, um, make certain criticisms that had their lie been, you know, revealed. They would not be able to make certain criticisms loudly and proudly, instigate certain things amongst that same community that they would not have been able to instigate and whatnot. Another conversation to be had is the type of people who are actually mixed. One parent is white, the other parent is black, but in their case, of no fault of their own, it just would be what it is. They are more white passing as opposed to, you know, their black side. And they only choose to tap into that black side when it's convenient for them. It's not something they wear proudly on their sleeve at all times. Whitewashed, I don't know. It's something, it's kind of like a quote unquote, maybe like a Velcro badge of honor that they slap on their chest or on their, you know, shoulder or whatever, whenever it's convenient, whenever they may want some sympathy, if they're called out for certain things amongst that community, for certain things they may have said or done in order to reap certain benefits. But then when it's time to actually be bold and proud about that same black side, mom is the word. You know what I mean? Hold on. Mom is the word. But anywho, I'm getting out of here. I hope y'all had a great day. I hope you're able to get something out of this live. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Thank you. Bye.